Good evening, I'm Scott Lemmons. How are you? So I figured today I would do a video of some questions I got in an email. I'm just going to answer some of these questions. I'm going to read them and then I'm going to try to answer them, and I thought that would be kind of fun. So I guess let's get started. So here we go. First question, it says, Scott, what's the funniest joke that you can think of right now? Funniest joke. Funniest joke for me was a joke that I told a few years ago, but the joke was about an old lady in a store, and she follows me around the store, and then when we get to the register, I have to, she goes in front of me because I'm a gentleman, and then it's my turn, and I only got like 4 things, and then she says, well, the cashier tells me, well, you owe $140 something, whatever it is, and then I'm like, for 4 things? I know this is Albertsons, I know it's expensive, but really side followed her to her car, stopped her, and all I could grab is her leg before she shut the door, and I was pulling on it, trying to get her out of the car, and you're like, now. And that was pretty much the joke, but it was funny because a decade later, my cousin Daniel still remembers that joke. It was funny, so that had to be one of the ones that popped in my head. Okay, the next question says, Scott, if your life had a theme song, what would it be? It'd probably be the Golden Girls theme. I love the Golden Girls, as everyone knows, and I love that song. So if I had to guess, it would be Thank You for Being a Friend, because I feel that's what suits my personality more, I guess. So that's a good one. The next question says, Scott, what is something that I wouldn't believe about you? John, let's see. Something that you wouldn't believe about me. That's a hard one. That's a really, gosh, at the top of my head, I cannot think of anything. That sounds horrible. You wouldn't believe about me. I'm a very nice guy. Maybe you wouldn't believe that, maybe you would, I don't know. That's really a hard one. Next question, it says, Scott, what is the most hilarious childhood experience that you could think of right now? These are like getting deep. You know, I don't know why these are some of the questions, but wow, that's really cool. Oh, hilarious? That one's tough. I know that my parents or my family's gonna be watching this like, Scott, really? That is tough, and it kind of is. I might have to get back to that one. I really do. That one I might have to get back to. It's weird when you're getting these questions and you're trying to do it live. And all right, so Scott, what do you think you would be doing if you never had to work in your life? What would I be doing if I didn't have to work in my life? I would probably be, honestly, probably up in the mountains somewhere in a cabin, that kind of life, or Oregon, Northern California, somewhere like that. I think that's the best way to answer that. Just somewhere peaceful and green and open area, yeah, so that's the best way I think I would describe that question. The next one, have you ever noticed, I should probably bring this closer, and I didn't bring my glasses either, I should have done that. Have you ever noticed that easy open packages never seem to open that easily? No, I've never noticed that. I usually just, honestly, I take a knife to the box and I just cut it open. I'm not really that gentle with it, but good question. It's different, I guess. All right, next question. What's the worst insult that you can come up with right now? I'd rather not come up with that. I really don't. That one's kind of I can't answer that. That one's bad. I don't know. Yeah, I'd rather. I'm gonna pass on that one. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one. How do you handle people you don't like? Is the next one. That's what it says. Scott, how do you handle people you don't like? Usually, it's not that I don't like them. Usually, it's either something they did to me or maybe they don't like me. But I don't really think I don't like people. So I'd have to say, yeah, I just don't talk to them. I don't like drama. I hate drama. So like, if you're one of those people that cause drama, I won't have nothing to do with you, especially anymore. I'm like, oh, I hate it. I hate drama with passion. It just sucks. And if you're one of those people who say that these people are the worst, and this is a good question, I'm just lingering here, but these people are the worst, the ones that say, oh, I don't do drama, but then you do. Then you do drama, and it's like, really? You don't do drama? Okay, I hope that answered that question. Scott, which came first, the egg or the chicken? I don't know. I don't know. Because obviously the chicken had to lay the egg to have the chicken. But then the chicken has to come from the egg. So I think that's a kind of like when you're at the DMV and they ask you a question, like, do you stop? When you come to a stop, do you slow down, then stop? Do you come to a complete stop? Or do you just slam on your brake? Or it's really like one of those questions, because either way they all mean stop. So yeah, good question. Scott, where do you want to be in an hour? That's a good one. Well, since it's like late here, probably an hour I want to be in bed. If we live somewhere else, it'd be different. I do apologize for drinking my coffee weird. I will be upfront with you. My wrists are kind of swollen tonight, so it's hard to lift the cup. But moving on to the next question. Scott, what's the color of your underwear right now? It's a strange question. I don't think I would ask that question. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I think they're blue. I think they're blue. Yeah, they're blue. Good question, I guess. There's only like one person I'd want to ask that question to, but we won't go down that road. That'll probably be another question. What was the person you would ask that to? Okay, Scott, what song do you feel that you absolutely have the urge to sing along with while it's playing on the radio? Oh. Well, as everybody knows, I'm a huge fan of Kelly Clarkson, so a lot of her music comes on the radio, and I sing to it. All her songs, because I know every one of them, like by heart. So, yeah, but there's other ones too, though. One song that I hear, there's so many. I really do listen to all music, except I don't listen to like songs I don't understand is what I'm trying to say. Like if I hear a song on the radio and I don't know anything, like they're sitting there and they're singing it or whatever, and you don't know nothing that they're even saying, not because it's a different language, because you just don't know. I don't like to listen to that because I don't know the meaning of it or what's going on. But let's go with Kelly Clarkson then. Yeah, there's so many. Country singers I like to sing along with. So many of those. I have so many country albums. I love George Jones. I really do like a variety of music. I like those old class music because of the fact that that's what we were raised on. We grew up listening to Merle Haggard, George Jones, Willie Nelson. I love Reba, by the way. I know it's not part of the question, but I'm going to go down the list. Reba is my favorite, and I'd love to see Reba one time in my life. So, yeah, that is one I like on my bucket list, and I get nervous because every year goes by, and I'm just like, oh, she's going to retire one day, and I'm not going to get to see her. But hopefully I'll get to eventually see her. Scott, what's the one thing that you're most terrible at? Well, nothing. I'm perfect. That's how I came out perfect. That's mother. Most terrible at? Probably blowjobs. I'm just kidding. That's probably never gonna make it. I don't know about that. I'm just kidding. My mouth is small, so I'm just joking. It was weird because when I was a teenager and in my 20s, I was good at house cleaning, and then I got into my 30s, and I don't know what it is about 30, but you just tend to not to care so much about little things, It's like, I clean, but I've gotten a little bit laid back in it, in a sense. Like, okay, like, let's sleep on the floor tonight so we don't have to make the bed in the morning. Scott, do you consider yourself more of a nice person or more of a naughty person? Well, that depends who you ask. Man, that's a good one. These are good tonight. These are really good. I cannot believe there's so many questions. I don't even know if I'm going to get through all of them. And it's neat that people sent this to me. I'm trying to answer them all, but I'm not trying to avoid this question either. Okay, I do feel inside that I am a nice person. I feel I'm a good person. Now, am I a naughty person? Depending on the definition of naughty, I guess. So, if that means like a bad person, no. But I guess I can be naughty at times. So I hope that answers that one. I think we're all like that though. All right, Scott, what commercial convinced you not to buy the product they were advertising? Okay, that's a good one. Not to buy. Oh man, there actually was one I seen, and I was like, there's no way we're buying it. And I said we're, because when I say we're not buying it, that means we're not buying it. So I'm sure so many other people out there like that too. Okay, so let's answer this question. Like certain sprays that you buy to, I guess, cleaning products or something like that, certain ones do not work. Like, well, I don't want to be like certain brands. That would be sucky if I just sit there and was like, this brand sucks, you know. But there is a certain brand that I do know that is advertised a lot, and it does not work. It doesn't work the way that they said it works, and I've tried it all different ways, and you spray it on, and it foams, and yeah. You spend most of the day scrubbing, let me tell you. But then there are some products like that do work, so you never know. But there's one in particular that I just will not buy. So I hope that answers that one. All right, so this next question says, Scott, what conspiracies do you believe in? Oh, that's a tough one. I believe a psychic can help you solve cases, through dreams or whatever. I have to have some kind of belief in that, but I don't believe that they can tell you the future or what's going to happen. I really don't believe in that, or that kind of conspiracies, though. That is such a good word, because I'm probably not answering that correctly, and I know I'm not, probably, because that's not really conspiracy. Conspiracy would be like that's a toughie. That's a toughie. I know people will sometimes, call ghosts and stuff like that can be considered as a conspiracy. Yeah, I think they're real, and I just do. So I don't know. I probably did not answer that question at all correctly, but it's all right. I don't know. All right, next question. This question is going to be hard to answer because I am not psychic. I have no psychic ability. The question is, Scott, what do you think I'm thinking right now? I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I can't answer. I don't know. That one's a little strange for me. Scott, what do you think is the worst way to die? These are like getting really creepy, aren't they? Like they started out like, oh, and now they're getting creepy. Who are these people? Okay. Worst way to die? Well, I have two worst ways, honestly. Probably suffering. Like if you suffered before you died, that would be horrible. Being murdered and not knowing who did it. Massive heart attack. I mean, there are so many horrible ones, but yeah, man, I guess just suffering. I mean, that would suck, All right, next question says, Scott, what makes you cry? Well, I do cry a lot. Not all the time, but I do. I'm actually more sensitive side. So a lot of things to make me cry. Actually, there is one thing that will make me cry. Every single time. Every time I watch this, I cry. And I don't know if it's because I was born premature. So there's an episode in season 9 I want to say season 9, disc 2 of Roseanne, if you buy it. I don't remember what episode, the number wise, but there's an episode in there and I cry every single time, because it's so emotional. I cry. But Darlene, which is Sarah Gilbert, she's pregnant, she has the baby, and of course it comes out premature. And there's like a lot of things wrong with this baby. And every time they show that baby in that machine or holding it, oh my God, I just start crying. And then they're in the hallway and it's a mess. And every time. And then once that scene's over with, which is, like the whole episode in a way, I cry. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of, my experience or, I don't remember that. I saw photos of it, but it's not like I remember it. But for some reason, oh my God, I cry. I don't know if it's because it's a baby. There's so much. I don't know. But every time I'm sitting there, I'm just crying my eyes out on that one. That one makes me cry every single time. And I love watching, Roseanne and the Golden Girls and Modern Family, which we're going to talk about Modern Family. I'm going to get back to these questions. Actually, I want to talk about Modern Family. I'm so sorry. It is sad in 2020 ending that show. I couldn't believe it. Because that show has been on for like a decade. And I love that show. And I know everything has to come to an end eventually. But gosh, it was weird because for me it's weird because when the first episode came out, that was like my third job I ever had, and I mean, literally it was probably in my early 20s. It's weird to me that they've been on that long, and then you look and you're like, oh my gosh, because it's really, you kind of, all those years, and I can remember the first episode and where I was and where I am now, and the first, almost the last episode, and it's crazy, and it just seems so weird. And then you watch the cast, they grow up, and from kids to adults, and they're all growing, and the storyline was so great. It would have been neat to be like a part of that whole entire thing, and my God, it's a good show, and I hate to see it go. It sucks, but I love that show too. Modern Family is one of my favorites. It's just a good show. Scott, how many walkers have you killed? How many people? Why? And then it also says, do you play the game The Walking Dead? I do not play that game The Walking Dead. I don't have it. So I really don't know. I mean, I know what those people are because when that show came out, I was a huge fan at first. But then the third or fourth season came out, and it was you just kind of get lost, and you're like, what? Like, I don't know, I did. I was just so lost, and it lost my interest, and I quit watching. Scott, when it comes to toilet paper, do you flip the side over or under? You mean the roll, right? Like the toilet paper roll? And again, no offense, but these are getting weird. Really weird. To answer that question, I guess it would, when I put it on the roll, like new, it would be on top. Yeah, on top, not. Because I have cats, and if you put it the other way, they like to string it onto the floor. And so you have to do it the other way, and then the cats don't do that, but good question. Next question. 3 things you would never spend money on. Never spend, oh my God, that's such a good one. And that sucks, I cannot remember what, I hate this not knowing, because I'm going to stop filming. And I'm going to be like in my room or something, or in the shower or something, and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, now I know the answer. Oh man. Oh my gosh. It sucks because I know like there was something. I always say, every time I'm in the store, I'm like, I would never spend money on that, ever. I do not remember what it was. Oh well. This is probably a horrible way to answer your question. I'm so sorry. I'll think of it later. Next question. Scott, if animals could talk, what do you think would be the rudest? If they could talk, probably the rudest animal, probably be the skunk. If he could talk, I think, because he smells all the time. If I had to guess, that would be, You know what? Yeah, it's not. I don't know if you consider it animal. It's kind of more of an insect. The one that boggles my mind, and I don't think I'll ever understand why, like what it is, like basically why they're even here. Like I don't see why. Where we live is kind of in the desert. Not kind of. We are in the desert, and so every once in a while you'll see these little black stink bugs, and to my knowledge they don't bite. But if you step on them or anything, there's so many, there's thousands, but like let's say you step on them, they have a smell to them. What I can't figure out is why they're even here. Like, what is the point? All I do is see them walking around. They don't harm anything, I just don't know what they do. I've never known what they do. But those are the, if it was an insect, those would probably be the meanest because they'd probably be like, I stink, I don't know. Okay, Scott. What small stuff do you always sweat? Bills. I know those aren't small probably, but yeah, bills. I do that a lot. I think I just stress about them, I think everyone does. Yeah, bills. I can't say I really sweat much of anything but the bills. Yeah. All right, next question. Scott, what does a perfect burger look like? Perfect burger. Well, probably 2 patties with cheese on each of them. I like almost everything. The pickles, the onions, the tomatoes, the mayonnaise. I don't really know what else they put on a burger, but I guess that would be my idea. So I like the burgers to be like not small. I like big. So Scott, what can you talk about for an hour on end? That's a good one. There's a lot I can talk about for an hour on end. I'm probably doing it now. That I'm allowed to talk about? Oh, I can talk about movies for an hour on end. I used to be able to talk about music, but really it's kind of weird. That kind of faded out a little bit. Politics, I can go round and round about politics. I want to get in trouble for something. So I'm always told, don't do that, Scott. Don't, I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, probably those two, I can go forever. One of my favorite things to do is when I'm talking about like some ideas about like, filming things together, there's always something to talk about for hours on that one, But some of my favorite moments is whenever kind of relaxing. I do this at Ron's house when I go over there. He's got a big old pool. We usually sit out there, with him and his dad and whoever else comes, and it's a lot of fun because you're just kind of talking and all that stuff, and I love smoking cigars occasionally, not all the time. But I do. It's relaxing and it's just nice I can go hours and hours talking over there because it's fun. It's fun to joke. I hope that answered that question. Next question. Actually, we were getting to the NDA. My ability to come out of my shell a little bit more. I used to tell I wasn't like that. It's very closed in person. So that would answer that one. That one would definitely answer that. I feel like I'm more open than I was before. So, Scott, what's your biggest kitchen fail? Well, to be honest, I'm not really that good of a cook. If you want, I don't do a lot of cooking. I do some cooking, but not all. I'm actually really good at baking. I'm really good at that, but I'm not good at actually cooking like fried chicken, but I can't bake chicken for some reason. Okay, next question. It says, Scott, who do you think the sexiest man on the planet is? That's a good one. Ironically though, I have his photo right here. Now, ironically, to answer that question, it's gonna have to be Mr. Max Theriot. Right there. Yep. I'm not joking. I don't know what it is. Like, he's an actor, and I'll never, ever get to meet the guy, probably. No, but he's got the neatest voice, and he seems like a really nice guy and a tender guy. Oh yeah, so that would be the one. Everybody knows that. That's who I would choose. So I'll take this down. I have a special place for that. God, I hope my mother's not gonna watch this. This would be so embarrassing to her. She'd be like, "Oh my God, Scott." No, I'm just kidding. I love my mom. She's actually got a really good sense of humor, so she'd probably laugh if I had to guess. Okay, it says next question. Given the chance, what would you say to your 5-year-old self? Five-year-old self, I would tell him to try harder in school. I would tell him that. I would also tell him to do more things, at school-wise, like do more things. That's actually what I would tell him, and not to stress the little things back then. And everything that you had to go through, I would tell him that it gets better at the end of the tunnel. Okay, next question. Are you happy now? Yes, I'm actually extremely happy. I finally got married. I'm so much happier now than I was at probably any part of my adulthood. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I'm coming out of my shell. So yeah, I'm way happier now. That's actually one of the better questions tonight. All right, next question. What is the largest amount of time you have spent being awake? I had to work one time. I had to be there at 3 a.m, and I don't think I got off till. I had to actually stay. It was 3 a.m. to 3 p.m, but the person who relieved me didn't show up until like 4:30. So if you can imagine, that's like it seems longer because you're up like at dark in the morning, and you feel like, you're there all day, but you feel like it's way longer than what it should. So that had to be the longest amount of time and the most. I hated it. I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. Speaking of that, it's great if you're working in a place where amazing people, like you're all like a nice, tight friendship kind of thing. Surrounded by good employees is what I'm trying to say. It makes the job force way better. But when you get that one employee who comes in who does not care, or you have a horrible boss who just absolutely does not care and just wants to be a total dick to everybody because his wife runs the house and he thinks because now he's a boss, he could just, be the king bee or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so that kind of happened to me in my life. But no, what I'm getting at is it sucks when you have a horrible boss. Like, the kind that when they pull up or they walk into your job, you just dread seeing them, or your stomach hurts, or they just twist you the wrong way and you hate everything about them. And yeah, it just sucks. It's great when you have a good boss though who's understanding, because it's a job obviously, but when you get a boss who's understanding, who doesn't make you feel horrible or anything like that, it makes it great. All right, we're almost done. We only have a few more questions. We're almost done, thank goodness. My tongue is dry. This coffee is not doing me justice. Should have brought water or soda or something. Probably water would have been better. What's funny? I'll tell you one more thing that's funny to me. What I'm going to say is how many questions that have came in. It's neat. And it's neat too because some of them are from the same person. So that's neat too. So, but some are. And I think it's neat because some people, this is just really neat. I've never sent me questions. Some of them, as you know, were a little bit risque. But some were great, and I would love to have more questions. This question says, Scott, what common piece of advice of words of wisdom don't actually make much sense? Okay. I'm not putting down the Bible. I swear I'm not. But there's a lot of wisdom in there, and there's sometimes when you read it and I'm sorry, but sometimes I don't understand it. You're like, oh, okay. But it's great wisdom, but sometimes it don't make sense you know, all the way. I know that probably is really bad to say. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's probably really bad. I hope everyone understands what I mean by that. Like literally, sometimes you'll read something in there, like just a sentence, and you're like, you know, what does that mean? Like, it's not that it doesn't make sense or it's horrible wisdom or anything. It's just, I don't know. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. All right, next question. Scott, what's your signature dance move? I don't have one. I don't think in any time that we've been doing any of the videos on YouTube, I've danced at all. And I wouldn't be dancing anyway. I have a bad knee. And so, I don't know. Like today it's swollen. Yeah, no, you're not going to see. That, and I'm a horrible dancer. You can ask my mom on that one. I really am. I'm horrible. Like, you'll never see me on Dancing with the Stars or dancing somewhere, you know. I wouldn't mind doing Sleeping with the Stars. I'm just kidding. That's horrible. And my mom's like, Scott, really? No, I'm all doing. No, seriously though, on another note, I'm a horrible dancer. I really am. I do not have good dance moves. So I don't have one, no. I don't dance. Scott, are you concerned with what other people think about you? That is a good question. Yes and no. I used to be. I really did. I used to be. I used to literally care about what people thought of me every second of the day. And not no more. I don't know what it is. It's strange to me because like in my younger adulthood, I cared all the time. And then you just kind of, you hit this mark in your life for some reason. That's what I call it for some reason. It goes back to the little things, I guess. Like you tend to, it's not that I don't care, because you do. At the end of the day, I think everyone does. You know, I lay in bed some nights thinking, did I do this or did I do that? And you kind of lay there and you have more to do than you got done sometimes. You know? For me, that question would have to be like, I would say both, yes and no. Because like what I'm trying to say is there is a part of everyone's life where you don't care. You know, I think I have more of that than anything. Like I'm just to the point where I don't care. Like I don't care what people think anymore. I'm just gonna be myself, say what I want to say, do what I want to do. Like I quit caring. Like literally. Like I don't care. I don't like drama. Nothing. Like I don't like being dragged in it. I cannot stress that enough. I know I go a lot on drama. I'm serious. Like I'm literally like, I think what it is, I just feel like all my life it's always been like, you know, you can't do this and you can't say this. I mean, even as an adult, and then yeah, one day you just kind of wake up and you're like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, right? You know, and no one's gonna stop. You know, and I think that's probably way off of what you're asking. But yeah, so no and yes. I mean, no, I don't care right now. No, I don't. But there's always, I mean, you're always gonna have a little bit of you that does care. Because I never want to make people. I like to believe everyone was like this, but I would hate to say something. I would hate to say something that would offend somebody, you know what I mean, or hurt them in a way. All right, next question. We actually have one more after this. Thank goodness. Okay. What's one of your superpowers that you would never want to have? This person must like Superman, Batman kind of thing, I think. Or you know what's funny? I'm not even up to date with all these new characters. Probably going way off again. No, seriously, I'm not. I had my nephew over recently, and we were flipping through the channel. He's naming off all these new characters, and I'm like, wow. You know, and it's so different because I still think the originals are way better, you know, but I'm not going to tell him that, you know. But it's neat. I'm like, wow, like I don't know, I couldn't tell you what they do, what they don't do. You know what, probably Batman's powers. I wouldn't want Batman's powers. I'd want Superman if I had to choose. But yeah, because Batman's, you know, at least Superman can fly and he's got the things with his eyes and whatever. All right, so last final question. Thank goodness. Scott, what's your definition of a good human being? Me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of a good human being is someone who's kind to one another, who is overall just a nice person, a good-hearted person. Yeah. So that'd be the definition for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, we have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our video. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I thank you all literally for all the nice things. I mean, these are just some of the questions, but I'm not saying we get like thousands of emails and stuff. We don't. We're not even that far. But the ones we get, I do try to answer myself, and I try to answer people my best. But I thought this was kind of cool. I actually hadn't read any of these up till now, doing this filming, so that was cool. It was all new to me, and I thank you all so much. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe to Scott.